I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode 26 of the Red Mist Podcast. On tonight's episode, we'll talk NASCAR at the paperclip, Martinsville, and the pass of the century. We'll also talk Formula One in Mexico, racing news, and opinions.
Yeah, we got opinions every week.
We got opinions every week, so
Yeah.
we got a few things.
Three of them.
Anyways, let's start at Martinsville. Very exciting place to have a race.
And a cutoff race.
And it was
Yeah.
and the final cutoff race, right, Nate?
Yeah, right, right.
Which was good. Yeah, no, but it was fun. It was, good race. I like that.
Martinsville.
I
It
like
was a
that.
Martinsville race.
The 99% of that race was your standard, typical Martinsville race, which was the good bump and run. The entire
Let
yes,
me
clean.
rephrase
Yeah, 499
it. Clean bump and run.
Well, with exception of a couple,
The
but
appropriate
yeah.
use of the bump
Yeah.
and run.
Yeah.
Okay, it's traditional short track stock car racing, whatever. But it was like no one got bent out of shape. No one decided to hook someone. In the right rear.
No, the highlight reel went really fast towards the end there because there was no cautions.
It was
race.
fairly caution free up until we got to the kind of the end there. Although, what did Tyler Reddick get hurt in that race, or did he get hurt in the Xfinity race, Nate?
He got hurt in the Cup race because it sounded like to me that something happened at Homestead, and it's kind of like,
and it was lingering,
and then it
so
I guess reignited again on a restart.
Essentially, he had a concussion.
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
I don't know. He shouldn't.
Bad.
I don't think
he shouldn't have been
sounds
out
like
there.
He shouldn't be racing.
Right.
No, he shouldn't be out there. And I don't think he's going to be. I think there's going to be an announcement very soon that he's not going to be in
the race.
that last
Especially
race.
with the
And run over to 2311 racing.
Well,
next year.
stuff with Alex Bowman going on that took a while to get straightened out, as well as Kurt Busch. So, anyways, we wish Tyler a speedy recovery. Anyways, it was too bad. But I thought I enjoy the races at Martinsville. So
Me too.
It's fun.
Classic racing.
It is.
For NASCAR, because I always think of like Ricky Craven when he won.
Oh, that's right.
In a duel against Dale Jarrett.
Yeah.
And there's and Rusty Wallace got his last win in the Cup Series at Martinsville in 2004 or 2005, something like that. So it's created, and Jeff Gordon too. And to punch his ticket into the playoffs years ago.
I will say this: they do get the coolest trophy, though.
Grandfather clock.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's something to chase after.
I would. I think that's a pretty damn cool trophy. So.
Yeah, and it's in any series. Like even Corey LaJoy won a modified race.
Oh, the modified race. That's right. Yeah.
And he got his grandfather clock there.
Oh, that wasn't on. I tried to find that. I couldn't find it. I think it was on Flow Racing or something, or Racing USA. Somebody had it, but I was like an app. I'm not paying for it, so didn't have it.
Right.
So if someone has a Reddit thread of the race, please send it to me.
Yeah, because I keep saying in the Xfinity remote, like NBCSN, I keep forgetting that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
so
you gotta get.
it's USA.
You gotta go to
So-
the NBC Sports app does exist, but
Everything's migrated over to Peacock.
well, yeah, but the sports stuff's still in the NBC Sports app because the NASCAR stuff's not on Peacock. Like the race is on Peacock, but then the highlight stuff's all back on the app. So it's kind of crazy. Anyways, so just good race. It was all the contenders for the final spot outside of Joey Logano were all up front mixing it up. Denny Hamlin was definitely running the show first part of the race. So that was good. Like they all got up there, they all mixed it up, and in the end, Christopher Bell, justice was served.
Yeah. And look, and this is another case of if you put Christopher Bell in a corner, he will fight back and win a race.
Yeah,
he's done that twice now at the Roval and now at Martinsville.
Yeah,
so
but, I mean, he
has a lot of momentum on his side.
I know, but he shouldn't have been in this position because he got caught up by somebody in there.
A satellite Toyota.
Yes, a fellow Toyota competitor had a momentary lapse of judgment. So good for Christopher Bell to get in.
And get a grandfather clock out of it.
That's true.
So he got himself a nice trophy out of that too.
Unfortunately, sadly, because of his win, Brian Blaney.
I know. And Chase Briscoe almost won that race too.
Yeah, that's true too.
He stayed out and was trying, rolling the dice, and he could have maybe won it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're in a tough spot because there's a lot of guys with new tires coming up, really sneaking their way through the pack, whether it's the bump and run or maybe passing on the outside, which Christopher Bell did on multiple occasions. So it was bound to happen, and Chase Briscoe knew he had to win. He had to win, and that was it. Yeah. So if second wasn't going to do him anything.
No, that's true. So that was good. Before we get to the elephant in the room that's out there.
The watermelon in the room.
The watermelon in the room. The giant watermelon in the room. I must say, I just want to applaud Ross Chastain for some fantastic drive through the field and judicious use of the bump and run.
Moving Brad out of the way. Right?
Yes, nothing better than seeing bad Brad spin.
Oh my god,
that was fantastic.
God.
Him and Denny decide to mix it up, which was kind of entertaining.
Oh, I know.
That was.
I thought that was going to get messy.
But that's all right. That's what That when they're talking rubbing racing, that's rubbing and racing. Okay,
that's rubbing and racing. That's
not banging doors at Talladega and taking out 36 cars. So in the big one.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No.
Yeah. Right.
So
the big one.
Problems.
So, as I watched the end of the race and tried to, get myself to try to tone out the overexuberance of our NBC broadcasting team, which was just like I thought they were gonna, it was just getting way too excited over nothing, to tell you the truth. I was just like, oh, that Bell's gonna win, and all of a sudden, like a lightning bolt. That all of a sudden
ringing.
For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee, Ross Chastain.
Hell's bells.
Yeah, hell's bells, Ross Chastain. I didn't exceed track limits.
Nope.
Nope.
It was the best gray area you could do. I'll tell you why.
And I'm sitting there going, I know when we kind of pre-talking about the show, I think it was great. It was a great move. It was thinking outside the box. He did nothing illegal. Okay?
No.
Okay. And illegal would have been going outside the track or cutting through the pit lane or something. I don't know. Something dumb.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Corner cutting.
He didn't do any of that.
Nope.
Okay?
No.
The only thing he put at risk was himself and his car and his playoff chances.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If the car,
how bad do you want it?
Right. If the car, he puts it into the wall, floors it, and all of a sudden it just grinds to a halt.
Yep.
Well,
so be it.
So be it.
Right. And he brought it up in his post-race interview that, there was a chance he could have hit that exit gate out of turn 4.
I know.
I know. I don't think that's.
I get it. You know what? Racing's dangerous. Okay.
It is. Okay. It is. But it's not even there's not even really a gate. It blends in quite well.
Yeah, it's not what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's not what it's used to be. There's a safer barrier piece there.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So
it's wall.
Yeah. All right. So all the you know what? Racing's dangerous. Okay. Let's.
No kidding.
And look.
Was it?
I applaud.
If you. Well, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
where
when
he said, like, walk that dog to,
Tommy.
Pruitt.
Yeah, Scott Pruitt said to Tommy Kendall, "That's dangerous." Yeah. Well, you can't do that. Well, then get a dog. Something like that. It was a great line.
So
Yeah.
It was that was after Kendall. That was after Kendall had been the victim of the Pruitt fade many a time. So Jesus. Anyways, I've watched it like a bunch of times. I'm not going to say 1,000 times, but I watched it a bunch of times. I just, for some reason, every time, like the first time I saw it, I thought someone just purposely sped up the film.
Yeah, no.
But it just shows you what the difference. What was it like? Whatever his mile an hour difference was compared to the rest of the field where they were running.
Yeah.
It was 80 to 120 miles an hour.
Right. So here's the thing: no one is going to go around that wall in an entire race because they're gonna last about 2 laps before the car falls apart.
No,
the car was destroyed after that.
This was So now here's the next thing that's going to happen. Somebody's going to know they're going to go and do it, and if you're in front, you're just going to throw the block up there. That's it. It's like this is like this thing basically.
He did open up a Pandora's box.
Yeah, it's not gonna, because you know what? This is a one and done thing. Because anyone that tries it again, someone's just gonna move up there and just block the guy, and they're gonna get the push.
So NASCAR has already came out and said that they're not going to change any rules for next weekend.
Yeah,
but in the off season to next season,
will they look at it? But what are you gonna look at it? Like, no one is gonna do it at Daytona.
No. There's obviously tracks that it doesn't work at.
Right.
It's clearly the short tracks.
Oh, Bristol, I don't even think you could do it.
No, you can.
No, you can't. You can't.
No, I don't think you can, because I think the banking.
No, you can.
All right. Why, you tried this in iRacing?
Yeah.
No,
like
because all the records in iRacing for a certain time were because of wall riding. Especially if they did Bristol at dirt.
Yeah, but
yes,
don't forget the Bristol has changed over time. It used to be a lot less.
No. What Bristol is today, it works.
Oh, okay.
In the sim.
You know what? It's still not going to happen. This is a one and done. This thing self-policed itself.
Well, because they're going to write a rule that you can't use the wall like that.
I don't want rules. I don't want rules.
No,
NASCAR
just leave
does
it. Not need any more rules.
No more
There's
rules.
already too many.
Racing needs no more rules. There's too many rules in racing. No more rules.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, my whole thing is, like, the next time someone goes, like, you think someone's going to do it, the spotter's going to come out, he's going up to the wall. Okay, fine. I'm just going to block him. And I'm going to, and I'll be the guy that gets the push.
I just got to say, I think it was...
But it was genius.
So then...
It was very genius. It was like a 2 million IQ move.
Yeah, the move was great. I'm not taking anything away from it, but just I'm thinking of, like, next season. You as the track owner, you're damaging your track.
Not everyone's gonna, no one's gonna, Christian, no one is gonna do this again.
You're gonna do that anyway. There's guys that
look, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Austin Dillon tried to take the wall down. Like during the race.
Right, but you don't see a wall getting abused lap after lap after lap. Like,
but
at some point, it was one. It was one
time. It's gonna happen. That's the one time it's gonna. No one is gonna do this again. No one is gonna do this again.
Are you sure?
Unless you're outside on the points looking.
Like, if it is a competitive advantage, you cannot tell me that that Martinsville race next year, everyone is going to be doing it.
You have such a big 5-10 cars doing it.
But it is such a big advantage. Why wouldn't you do it?
All right. Well, here's my thing to this. Now you know that somebody can do this. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if I'm leading the race, first off, you have to be far enough back to do this. You can't be right behind the leader and do it.
Right.
Okay. So Chastain,
this is a case of third place or back.
Honestly, this is like the perfect storm.
It definitely was. It definitely was.
If he was 2 seconds later, it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
However he timed it, I have no idea why, how, what. That's. Yeah. I'd love to know.
It just worked.
It just worked.
It did.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying it just worked, because try and replicate this again. Not gonna, I don't think it's gonna happen. What says you, Nate?
Well, this is, I mean, I grew up playing like NASCAR Thunder, whatever. And Ross Chastain brought that up. He played NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005, and he's done that plenty of times. Yeah. And you just do that.
Right.
In career mode, and that's just, you try it. All right. It's not like you're, because in our case, we can hit the reset button and just try again if we screw it up.
In a real race, you cannot hit the reset button, because what happens if the tire broke and it got jammed up underneath the car? He wouldn't have made it. He had to time that. I don't know. I think it was the perfect storm. It was
it definitely was. Yeah.
And I just my sense is it's going to self-police itself, because I don't think anyone's going to try this again. At least at the Cup level. No, Xfinity level, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway.
See, here's my thing. Did NASCAR release their they had to release their 2023 schedule. So now my question is Martinsville the cutoff race next year?
Well, it doesn't,
Well, there you go.
But everyone's talking like this is like the end of NASCAR. It's like it was one.
No. It's not the end of NASCAR, but
it was a genius move. That was.
It's not. It's on ESPN SportsCenter's top one.
Right.
It's the number one top 10 play.
Yeah, I know, but which is fine, because it was genius. It was genius. It was outside the box. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't.
Martinsville is the cutoff race for next year.
Next year. All right.
That's amazing.
So there's going to be a special. They'll have a driver. There'll be no wall riding. There's going to be no nothing. I mean.
Yeah. And
you've already killed
Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte could announce that.
No, not them. I just they've killed the sport enough with restrictor plates and stuff. It's like, Jesus. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's because what is it? I think Bobby Allison had a blown tire. I tell big one time destroyed.
Well, it wasn't just him. There were a few.
Yeah,
they had to run down the fences. But anyways, but I
well okay. So then, because this someone brought up. Nate, I forget who it was. I think we were in the chat, this chat, but somebody said, do you start to see teams adding wall skid plates?
You can't add anything to the car.
No, you can't.
You can't add anything. That's the whole thing. I'm surprised that this thing, I am absolutely surprised that car, when he walled it like that, made it. Because I guarantee you, if they, Austin Dillon's car went, we saw it.
That was a very different impact.
It was a very different impact, but it was not. It was a sudden impact, but this was a sustained crash that Chastain did. He was basically doing an airplane crash, is what he was doing.
Right, because and looking at the replay thousands and thousands of times, I almost think of the training astronauts or fighter pilots get, right, to feel all that G-force. He was using that.
Christian
using that momentum.
Christian brought up a great comment though. Was it right before he did it? He put it in fifth gear.
Yeah, grab fifth gear.
Yeah. And he just throttled it.
Are they 6 gears now?
Whatever.
I don't know. 5 gears.
Oh, they are 5. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just remember.
It's look. I think it's it's fantastic. It was great.
Look.
It's great.
I've done it before on, the NASCAR games. I haven't,
Yeah, but Nate, this is that's a game.
It's a game.
I'm not trying to
I'm not. And Dale Jr.
No. Dale Jr. did call it. He called it a
look.
He called it a game.
They've done it. They've done it in real life. So
I know.
So
No.
it's now
I know.
it's now done in real life. You can do it in this.
I know.
I'm just.
I know where you're going.
Here's another thing. This is the other part that's mind blowing about this. Never mind that he's now can fight for a championship and kick Denny Hamlin out. That's the track record at Martinsville for the NASCAR Cup cars.
Oh yeah, that was at the end of the race.
And I think if he didn't push Brad across the line, he might have gotten the outright. Faster. Yeah.
Somebody goes
because the outright one is by a modified car at 18.7.
Well, modified there is.
No, I know, but that's how close he was to it though. He had an 18.8.
That just tells you how fast the modifieds go there.
Oh, I know.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, they're hauling.
They're hauling the mail. Then somebody else was just, they were going, well, now you wrecked that car. And I'm going.
They wreck a car every week.
I said, like
it's NASCAR.
Like
They have 12 cars.
They got 12 cars. They got the road course cars.
Yeah.
They got the
super speedway cars.
I know. It's like this car is sort of like I don't want to say it's spec, but they have short track.
Pretty spec for a new gen car.
They have their short track setups on these.
Yeah.
They don't put up. It was the last. What's the big deal? The car was going to get checked out for next year. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wreckers are checkers. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean,
well, that's what it is at the end of the day, because look, he needed 2 more spots.
Okay. And
how else are you going to get two spots? You're not going to bump one guy out of the way.
No.
And just hope someone else did it to someone else.
Here's the thing: he didn't take anyone else. He didn't put anyone else in harm but himself. Okay. And I think some of the stuff some of the folks that are saying stuff, at least in the driving side of the fence there, they're just all butthurt that they didn't think of it.
Larson?
Larson definitely tried it.
Yeah.
He was the most butthurt out of it. I mean, he was saying it's embarrassing.
Right.
It's a bad look for NASCAR.
Well, what happens at Darlington if you did it at if he was successful with it at Darlington?
Yeah.
It's like he'd be pretty smug about it
story.
too. I mean, I like Kyle. I like Kyle, but I mean, it's just like guys, you got outsmarted. Some guy took a risk and he paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now Mr. Worldwide is fighting for the NASCAR championship.
But the other, I guess the other thing is, I mean, everybody knows you can do this there, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the question's going to beg, what tracks can you do it at now?
Right, but I'm just saying. But if you go back in the day, right? I don't recall anyone, like, I'm talking cars without restrictor plate. Not that this is a restrictor plate track. I'm just talking back in the day with the Darrell Waltrips, the Dale Earnhardt Seniors,
Kelly
Richard
Robbo.
Petty, those guys. Some of the craftiest guys in stock car racing. None of them tried it.
Okay, so but did they have the walls capable of doing it?
Oh, those guys. Those guys don't care. Those guys didn't. They don't care. They drive through.
No.
Christian, those guys raced at Daytona.
That's not what I'm getting at. The
Christian,
wall.
I know where you're getting at. Because look, they're Bristol, for example. They have those like metal gates. Okay,
that's where Michael Waltrip got creamed.
Michael Waltrip, Mike Harmon in 2002. Yeah. He had a nasty crash and actually stepped out of the car, literally on the other side.
Those guys, not like that. I'm just saying, back in the day, those guys would have tried anything because those guys were like out of Daytona.
Yeah, they would, but I don't think they had the walls capable of doing it.
Maybe not, but
that's
what
it wasn't the same all the way.
Well, let's put it this way: Darlington was the same. Okay, Darlington's been the same, and if Larson thought of it at Darlington, somebody else back in the day was probably thinking the same thing. So, or like Rockingham or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you can there is no way you can do it at Kansas.
No, the high speed ones
can't do it because it's just going to kill your momentum versus the car running free off the wall is going to be quicker. Well, plus the draft.
And don't forget too, it's you still have the shoot from 4 to the line.
Right.
Like that is still a significant distance at a lot of other tracks.
You definitely can't do it at Talladega because it's all down at the first corner. That's like the best placement.
That's where
I will say this. That is the best placement of a start finish line.
Yeah.
Because like it just takes forever to get there. So it's kind of cool. But I have to doff my cap. Say, well done.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah. And look.
And before
it got him a chance at a championship. And if he wins a championship, he's I mean, geez, man. Like that's the move of the century, right? By itself.
Well, it's it's like, when the Red Sox came back on the Yankees. I mean, it's like some of the plays. No, but it's like some of the plays in the game.
Interested. Let him say it.
No.
Yeah.
There's a key moment in every championship season.
There always is.
Okay, and that was a key moment. All right.
Yes. So, Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts stole second. Right. Mm-hmm. Changed the tenor of the game.
Yep.
Veritek putting his mitt in Jeter's face. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So but that's the way things go. So, good on him. Let's just go around real quick. I'm just going to say this self-polices itself, and there won't be any changes in the rules, and you'll never see anyone do it. I mean, I don't think you're going to see anyone do this again. That's just my opinion. Christian, your thoughts?
I thought that.
I would like it to have no rules, because the approach from that view is people are going to be screwing themselves. So so take, for instance, you have first and second running at Martinsville, like just away from everyone else, and first decides to take a shot at doing that, and second doesn't. It's a toss up of who does it, or vice versa. First doesn't think that second does it, and then second does and wins that way. I think it just opens up the finish to a race at certain tracks, but in all likelihood, I think a rule is going to get put in place, just because I don't know, because then you're talking about trying to re-engineer some of the track safety for this kind of stuff, and these cars have already gone through a lot of negative media attention around the safety of these cars to begin with. So I think that's probably what's going to end up coming about.
Okay,
Nate, your thoughts?
Well, here it is. It's there's already this, mushroom cloud of the NASCAR right now is unsafe. Okay, there's that idea. There's Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, and now more recently Tyler Reddick that are probably that is probably going to be stepping out of the car from last weekend. But what this does, Ross Chastain almost obliterated that talk, almost. And now people that's all people are talking about. That's all people are looking at. And that's all people are really focusing on going into this championship. They're not thinking, well, Joey Logano's in, Chase Elliott's in it. Okay, maybe Christopher Bell, with his clutch win, they're maybe talking about, but they're going to be talking about this forever. Forever. And NASCAR is not going to change it. I'm telling you right now, NASCAR is not going to make a rule. It does beg the question, is NASCAR going to make a rule? But because I think of the exposure it got and how far spread it, Fernando Alonso tweeted about this. Okay? He liked it. So, I mean, look, and maybe it gets his further attraction into Trackhouse, right? But I don't think NASCAR is going to change the rule, because it if anything brought so much hype into this championship now that people are gonna. I think it's going to be a record-breaking viewership of the championship this coming Sunday. I really think so, because people that saw this video of Ross Chastain are now not only pulling for Ross Chastain, but also want to see history of if Ross Chastain can indeed win the championship. I don't think there's going to be
my only thought to that is we're in the era of the Drive to Survive crowd, or what's Austin Dillon's show? What is that show? Whatever.
No.
Anyways, so
you know the title,
right? Yeah, no, I don't. But I'm just thinking that type of viewership is going to tune in. And they're going to be expecting someone to wall it all the way around.
Oh, yeah, every single time.
And here's the thing.
You can't do that at Phoenix.
No.
My whole thing is...
Maybe a bump and run.
See, this is where I get back to this whole thing being a once in a great moon experience. So let's enjoy it. Yeah. We all enjoyed the Zanardi pass. That was a great pass. God, yeah. So, I mean, up until that point, nothing else had surpassed it after that. So, So I think
Ranger Van de Zander in IMSA. That was pretty. I don't know.
He basically pulled off the same move. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, far in between.
But he wasn't the first.
It wasn't the first.
That's kind of.
Whereas Zanardi was the first, and Chastain's the first.
Right. They call it the Zanardi move.
Right. So I just let's just hope there's no rules. Let's just all right. So all right. So we're on to the next weekend of Phoenix. Only 5 drivers matter. Why is everyone else racing? So,
They don't want to make it completely.
I saw an interview.
cars,
I saw an interview with Martin
Disney
Truex because like he's not. This is like the first year he's not in the chase, you know. And it's like, so what do you? Where are you? I'm in the woods. Like, I mean, it's like he's like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like that's. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, I'd like, you know, hopefully just because every year it doesn't seem like someone not in the contention upset the apple cart so it causes complete chaos.
You mean like the Xfinity race?
No.
Well, yeah, the
I
Xfinity
don't want to
race,
get into that yet. I don't want to get into that.
I don't.
I'm just no. I'm
already-
not talking about like taking guys out. I'm just saying, like 6 guys that don't matter, not even in it, like Larson and about 4 other guys that aren't in it. They finish 1 through 4, and then it's a dogfight to see who finishes, wins it. Because it always seems like somebody in that chase pack always ends up winning the race.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Whereas
you'd like to see a championship weekend where the top or where the 4 for the championship finish.
How many?
28th,
Is it 4 or 5?
It's 4. You want to see where they finish just 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, where they're just like in the back.
I want to see them. Yeah, they're duking it out in the middle of the pack. I mean, that's. It just seems like it always gets to be like they're all up front. I'm like, ugh. It's just then I kind of go, here we go. It's NASCAR.
Cream of the crop prizes.
It's also sometimes it gets fixed. So, anyways.
Yeah.
So,
no,
but anyways.
and well, I'll tell you what. There's been a few crazy championships decided that way. When Tony Stewart won in 2011 in a tiebreaker between Carl Edwards.
Was that wasn't in the playoffs though?
It was a similar idea, but it wasn't like championship 4 or anything. That was for the most part the whole season.
Right. That's when points carried through the entire season.
Yes. Yeah.
That's different. I'm just saying that this is like there's 4 guys going into this because.
Oh, I know. So the first time. Okay. All right. I know what you're saying. So the first year in 2014, where the bracket idea was introduced, and whatever Final 4. That was when Kevin Harvick won, and Ryan Newman came in second, and almost broke NASCAR by winning a championship without winning any races.
Okay. All right. Well.
Great.
Anyways.
But, yeah, sorry.
That's okay. No, it's just anyway.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. All right. So we'll wish Messrs. Logano, Elliott, Chastain, and Bell best of luck.
Wait, you don't have a pick on who's going to win the championship?
Anybody but Logano.
Christian.
I'd like to see it be finished off with Chastain winning it, but I think Logano's going to win just in spite of what everyone thinks. I just
guy.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't.
No. See, I'll set my bar low. I'll expect Logano to win, and if not, then it's a win for me.
Go ahead, Nate.
I'll tell you what. If Christopher Bell or Ross Chastain win, it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great night.
So none of us think Elliott's going to win.
No.
Okay.
I would not like to see him. Nothing against Chase. Come on, whatever. He passed the baton in 2020 from Jimmy Johnson to him, and whatever. I don't know. I mean, he's got his championship. I want to see Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain kind of figure it out.
Okay.
If like I said, if any of those 2 win it, it's gonna be it's gonna be big.
So let's we'll wrap it up there, and we'll move on to south of the border.
Vamos, Checo.
Vamos. I almost can picture Checo's dad smiling,
And holding that flag, the Mexican flag.
As long as Checo is in Formula One, Checo's dad needs to be on the F1 intro of just him smiling and hugging
it's
everyone.
Like, remember that Maldonado meme that he would come out like right at his head comes out at you?
Oh,
that was like that's all I can picture with Checo's dad, which I love. Anyways, so good to see Checo's dad. That was fun.
Yeah, good weekend in them.
Rather see him than Ted Kravitz, but that's all right. That's for another day.
So the race, I don't know. I thought it was fairly straightforward, and it was a very simple race.
I mean, I thought
that we haven't really had, or it's felt like we've had in a long time.
I
Nothing
thought
crazy.
like P1, FP1 was.
So you want to recap the whole weekend?
Well, just real quick. I mean, that's kind of where Ferrari's problems started. Leclerc put it in the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that then it was just never got themselves on track. Max was just doing what Max does. The Ferrari guys were they were in the mix, and then and we had some we had the rookies out there, but it was tough. That's a tough track for them to. There's just a lot of issues with the cars heating and cooling things that go on, and guys definitely had issues there. And then we had the hour and a half tire test.
Yeah, which FP2 is a wash.
I really enjoy the extra track time.
Right. Yeah,
but I'm just sitting there going, I have no idea what coming out of this, and all I could think of was Max did all of his running, get out of the car, and the guys from Sky are like, oh, I can't believe you got out of the car. You must be in violation of something. And it's like, nope, he made all the laps he had to do. He had to do X number of laps. He did them all. Yeah. And I think Max got out and said, what else are we going to do? Car works okay on this, and, I mean, George is out there setting fast time after fast time because, he didn't get the, didn't get to run FP1. So, I just don't know. I'm that in-season tire testing thing. I'm not a big fan of.
Well, it's at the end of the season. I mean,
right? But imagine if it was
time to do it now. Right?
Imagine if it was the end of the season last year.
Yeah, it would have made a huge difference, on some of the teams.
So
yeah.
But this is the problem with F1 and their ever-growing calendar and their ban on out of season testing.
Yes.
So if they had during say the summer break, just an in-season test
with the tires.
Yeah, and it's a 3-day weekend where you just go and test and you show up to whatever track it is.
Here's the thing: bring last year's cars. You don't have to bring this year's. Just bring last year's, fit them, and run them. All they're looking for is the tire. They're just looking for the tire. That's all they're looking for. I don't know. Maybe because it was 2 weekends in a row of it was just it was kind of mind numbing.
And they were supposed to do it at Suzuka
because
so
I very much enjoy an hour and a half to 2 hours of practice. I think an hour is just. I don't know what these guys can get done. They cut track time back. I know it's all cost related, but I don't know. I just like that. I think my feeling is, can we just see some track action? It's just an hour. It's just oof.
Too quick.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely a product of the Drive to Survive crowd. Their attention span's an hour. It's like that of a gnat. So, you're trying to wrap up. On Drive to Survive, you're trying to wrap up 3 race weekends in a 45-minute show, right?
Okay, and then
right.
Well, I guess to the rate. If you fast forward to the race, to that point, it's like everyone from that crowd is probably bored out of their minds watching that race when that race was probably one of the better races to watch just as a general race fan.
As a race fan, it was good. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, it wasn't wheel-to-wheel battle every single lap or whatever, but there was strategery going on. Yes, and you had the top 3 putting in the same lap times, pushing each other, keeping each other honest.
Yes.
Top 4, actually.
Right, yeah.
Well, right, top 4.
It's a very different way to look at the race, but if you don't, to someone who only knows wheel-to-wheel action, that's not everything in the race.
And I was, I will say this in qualifying, trust me, I was psyched that Max got pole. I was rather disappointed in the Mercedes. I don't know. This is the thing. Their speed, I don't know, somewhere they have it and then they lose it, what I'm saying? Because in FP1 they were quick, and then FP2 when they put George out there on those tires, I know but when you just look at what he was doing with those tires compared to what they did in FP1, it's just, but it also showed. So it did, I don't know. I just was. I was kind of
The problem.
I
the problem
probably
with
was
that,
expecting more out of Mercedes, maybe.
The problem with that is that FP2 is the closest representation to qualifying.
And we didn't get that.
And you didn't get it.
Right.
And not the whole field was on it. Yeah. Only George was on it.
Yeah, there was like 5 drivers that were really on it.
Yeah. So you can't. It's you're going in with really like limited data of where everyone is going to stack up. Yeah. So and to be honest, whoever got qualifying there didn't really matter because race pace was gonna be what mattered.
And last year, just if we look back to last year, you can start 3rd or 4th and get to the lead.
Right.
So
it's just the nature of that that start.
Yeah, that start. Yeah. So
and just such a long straightaway going into turn 1.
So we get to the race. Again, Max made a great start.
Yep.
Very timely start.
Positioned
himself well, and
I thought Lewis and George were going to make contact, but that's
no. I thought I just like the fact that Lewis stuck it to him, so it was kind of
oh yeah.
And then did Checo get by him?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I
did you not hear the crowd go nuts?
I kind of enjoy. I couldn't remember if it was on that lap or the next lap, but I was kind of like laughing at that point because I'm like, okay, all right, Mr. Saturday or whatever you are. Jeez.
Sunday.
Yeah, I was and then the good thing was I did. The best thing about George is he's actually like in some ways I get to root for Lewis against him, so it's kind of nice because I really can't stand George. And when Lewis kind of gave him the old off the track there, I was like, "Well done, sir." And I was waiting for I was pushed off there. From
I
George.
didn't hear it.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know if they. I have a feeling that they didn't. I think he said it, and I don't think FIA.
He just didn't put the radio in.
At the same point, like, are you really going to say it against your teammate?
He would.
Right.
He would.
He would. Yeah, he's a tattletale.
Yeah, he's a snitch. So, but it was that was good by Lewis to do that, and then Checo got through, and then we had some Bottas early in the race doing some dice in there.
It fell back pretty quick.
Fell back.
He qualified well.
5th.
He qualified
but the start it bogged.
He just got swallowed up.
Yeah.
So, but what it did show was the track temperature had changed from Saturday to Sunday, and it just shows that the Red Bull is much more compliant than the other cars on whatever tires they're on. Because
as Red Bull has won the constructors titles, and shockingly, they have built the best car on the grid.
So, but what it showed was at that point in the race when they were talking about, Max had gone out on the softs, and they were constantly just these red tires are gonna fall off. These red tires are gonna fall off, and I'm like, no.
I'm like last I checked, you guys didn't have the tire data.
Right. You don't have the tire data, but also no one. And then Max was kind of like, well, the left front's kind of looking worn and stuff. And all it was graining. And the tires can work through that graining process and then come out on the other side. And that's what his tires did. So when they did pit Max and they took him off, they knew right away that they made the right choice. And they actually could have gone much longer on that set of softs. So it was preemptive. And they knew that by switching to the mediums, they could just tell Max to push it, and that's what he did. And I think Mercedes kind of bollocked up the tire selections.
Yeah, I would say here's my problem.
Once those hards went on at the end of the race, they couldn't get anywhere.
That was your race to the end.
I don't think that they even thought about the softs going that long. I don't think the data that I'm guessing the data that they had on the soft tires pushed them in the direction that they did.
Yeah.
So and it just didn't pay off. But like you said, the Red Bull is a much better car on its tires, so it was probably much more doable for them.
Right.
So and that goes back to
the Mercedes on a one lap strategy with the Reds. They're fantastic. They always can get fast lap.
Yes.
Yeah, on the final lap, Sean.
Yeah. With no traffic.
With
Save
no
the best for
traffic.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Well,
does.
here's
oh, no,
my
no,
thing.
That's Ferrari that bites him.
Huh?
I said
Here's what irks
that's
me the
Ferrari that
most.
bites him though.
Yeah.
Well, Ferrari was like 30 seconds back.
No. I was saying
Ferrari was
earlier
out.
in the season, Ferrari tried to pit for the fast lap, and then they lost out.
Then
on
they
it.
lost out.
And,
Oh, well,
and Alonso's
yeah,
comment was,
yeah.
"Well, that's Ferrari."
That's Ferrari. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
they were out to
He's
lunch.
saying that's so 2012.
They were out to lunch the whole weekend.
I know.
I will say this: that I have to give Ricardo the driver of the race. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yep.
what happened. Something clicked.
He was on a different tire strategy too.
Yeah, but something clicked.
But good,
He got
yeah.
the car to work.
Yeah,
So
the honey badger was hungry.
although he did have a momentary lapse.
Yeah, he went for some sushi.
Oh boy, wow!
Oh.
Man, talk about.
It's just,
Talk about,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
That
that
was-
took me a second.
Talk about
Poor Yuki.
talk about a kamikaze move. Wow.
oh,
Oh,
Poor Yuki.
all right.
Anyways,
oh my God.
before we get in trouble, poor Yuki. Anyways, he looked. Did you see him like afterwards? Like they interviewed him in the pen afterwards. Yuki. He looked like he didn't know what happened. Like swear to God, he was. I think he was so
Oh,
PO.
yeah. I mean,
Well, he was so baffled
He was
as to what
pissed.
he was, but it's like
Did
the
you hear
first.
his radio?
Yeah, but I thought he was, because I figured sometimes when he gets back to the media pen, he's capable of just like, exploding in there, you know. But
Yeah.
why he looked, he had nothing to say. But you know, so unfortunately, Checo couldn't. Checo just couldn't get the pace this weekend.
No,
No.
and
He got third and stayed there.
Yeah, and
But
I was kind of really
he made the
hoping.
stadium
I just
yell.
thought he was going to be quicker, so that they could go. Okay, go. Just
well, I think with the
yeah.
Mercedes being as quick as they were, that probably
think that
played
might
into
have
it.
played into it. Yeah.
And the fact that the only thing that went wrong for him all weekend was the slow pit stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is what it is. But actually, speaking of pit stops, McLaren went sub 2.
Did they?
Yes,
Well done.
and on Danny Rick's car, and they got a
Yep.
1.98.
Oh,
So
awesome. So, but outside of that, that was it, like the race itself. Watching it, it was great.
yeah,
Wasn't a ton of overtakes. It was just like watching how the strategy played out. But it definitely was just what car worked best on what tire combination. So,
Well,
anyways,
here's my thing. Here's what is annoying me. I think Red Bull did the same thing, but with Mercedes, I'm not trying to say I'm on Georgia's side, but I'm also like, well, why don't you just do soft and mediums on one and then medium and hards on the other?
right. Split the
Unless-
strategy.
yeah.
Split the strategy.
Yeah,
With the strategy.
Horner asked that question
Well,
after the race,
and-
he was like, he was like,
but
I don't know.
same thing to Red Bull. Why'd you take the risk in putting both of them on there? 'Cause-
Right. That's it.
I think the reason they took the
But-
risk on both was they were trying to get Checo up there. That's what I think they were trying to do.
Right. So again, I think it just came down to the fact that Red Bull had the data and Mercedes didn't think they could do what Red Bull did.
Did
So-
right. And I also think that Red Bull's taking more was willing to take a risk to try and get Checo to a position where like they could kind of Max move over, Not saying he would, but and I thought I will say this. I know Max, it was 14 wins and stuff, but he was pretty humble about it. I mean, he knows that it's a great accomplishment, but he
Yes.
knows that when you're comparing an apple to an orange.
Yes.
So good on him for that. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we move on to Brazil in 2 weeks, and we will cast our picks a week from now. As to I have some picks that I'd like to disclose at that point. So very excited about that. Just in some F1 news, Stoffel Van Dorn. Welcome to Team Aston Martin.
And
Yes.
same with Felipe Drugovich.
What is he?
They're either test or sim driver as well.
Okay, because Stoffel is the test and reserve driver.
Yes. Yeah. He
Okay.
right.
Felipe's taken on a similar role.
What are they, McLaren signing everybody?
Stolt Van Dorn has experience at McLaren.
They're trying to
Jeez.
they're trying to take up Alpine on their young driver development program, which doesn't exist, but they're trying to do something.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It could have. It almost existed. Because, I mean, wasn't Zhou Guanyu with Alpine for a while?
Yes, and then Alpine, like the idiots that they are, decide not to promote from their young driver program, and so Zhou went other
went elsewhere.
Found a ride.
Right, and got a ride.
Yeah.
No, he did.
And so just like Piastri.
And let's see.
F2 and F3 calendars announced for next year today, and they have a new venue. They're going to Australia.
Oh,
so they'll be at Melbourne.
Nice. I do know. So some Vegas tickets went on sale today. Mm-hmm. So if you were an American Express card holder, apparently that allotment gets sold out pretty quickly. But I mean, it's like $500 for general admission. It's like, yeesh.
That's the whole weekend, though, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of might just stay at home and watch that one on TV.
Seriously, and the race starts at 10 p.m. Local time.
We had Tony Stewart make his not top fuel. I was incorrect on that from last week. His top alcohol dragster debut this weekend, and finished second. That is fantastic. So I think Tony's found.
What about Lee Pruitt?
No, Brittany Force won.
Oh, okay.
She won, and Erica Enders won in pro stock. I do not know who won top. I don't know who won. I don't know who won funny car. Sorry, but the women took 2 spots out of the 2 top categories, so that was pretty good.
That's badass.
Yeah, pretty badass. And I think that was Erica Enders' 6th win in a row too. I believe she won the championship too, but she's been on fire. In some other drag racing news, this is tasty, literally. The NHRA and In-N-Out Burger have announced a sponsorship deal for Pomona Dragway. So now it's going to be In-N-Out something. And I'm like, you can't get any more California like this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
This is great.
Have you had an In-N-Out Burger? I've never.
Yeah,
I've never.
It is absolutely fantastic.
Better than Five Guys, or like? I don't know. I think the best that I've had is probably like Five Guys or something.
The burger is good.
So In-N-Out is now the naming sponsor. So we had Infineon Raceway and whatever at Sonoma there and all that. But Pomona is now 2033. This deal goes to with In-N-Out. This is In-N-Out Pomona Dragway. I love it. Oh man, that is like the best sponsorship deal right there. Oh, fantastic! I hope they put an In-N-Out right outside the track.
I mean, they should.
Yeah, it's just tasty. It's so good. Let's see. In some other news, Tony Kanaan, Nate's man, formally announced at Aeroschmidt Peterson spam. Anyways, to be the fourth car in Indy. Looks like
Thank you, Robin Miller.
Looks like looks like Robin Miller. Looks like Rahal Letterman will have a 4th car at Indy, and it could be the return of Captain America RHR in a one-off race deal, which would be pretty cool. Also, RLL moved into their new shop in Indianapolis. Looks fantastic.
Very nice.
And that is where the BMW GTP program is located. Yes. So just to put that out there.
Speaking of sports cars and GTP LMH, Ferrari unveils their hypercar.
Oh yes, that was at the Ferrari World Finals.
Yes.
And was that Imola? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
They
So
unveiled it in the paint scheme that they will be running it, which is red with a little bit of yellow trim.
So it looks like back to the 70s with the Ferrari, the 512s, and there's the iconic Shell sponsorship.
Yeah.
So that was good. The other, I guess, news that's kind of perking up more is that Hulkenberg seems to be closing the gap on the other Haas seat.
Yeah.
So that seems to be
Because the other rumors that I'm seeing is Danny Rick is going to be a reserve driver at Red Bull.
at Red Bull.
Yeah.
Not for Toto.
No.
I thought he was talking Toto.
Right?
That's what I thought.
I don't know.
But
I heard that too.
Well, okay, let's put it this way.
But for Red Bull,
He's
pretty cool.
it seems like if he's going to be a reserve driver, he's going to be it for one of the top 3 teams. So it just depends on which one he's in.
yeah. So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. As far on the IMSA front, looks like I think the Acuras are down at Sebring for a test program, or at least Shank is down there. They're doing a test program down at Sebring for the next couple of days. So
Yeah.
probably wreck the car and then see what else falls off it.
Because then there's more homologation testing set for
Yes.
November.
That's coming up quickly. That is. And then on the IMSA front itself, they are very close. They're to being oversubscribed for the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is fantastic
Yes.
news. So they're trying to, I guess, see what they can make sure they can safely accommodate. I mean, the good thing about that track is the pit lane is built for 43 cars at least. So
Yeah.
that's the good news. So we'll go from there. Let's see. Anything else? The only other thing, just for some, we touched on it briefly last weekend. This weekend is the Walter Hayes Trophy race at Silverstone, which is a Formula Ford weekend. And we have the Team USA guys will be there. They were at the Formula Ford Festival at Brands Hatch, which was totally different, but the Walter Hayes is just as significant. And fellow competitor, good friend of yours and Nate's, Mike Eastwell, has announced that he will be running at Silverstone this weekend as a follow-up to his fantastic performance at the Formula Ford Festival. So wish Mike the best. Hopefully, Mike's. I know Mike's listening. Maybe Christian could reach out to him and get Mike on the show. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We'd have to tape it at about noon our time.
Yeah.
So
We'll do it on a weekend day.
we'll get him.
Yeah.
Maybe Christian can reach out to him and get him. Maybe.
it's probably like 1 a.m. for him or something like that.
Well, yeah. It's. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd actually probably work out better if he was in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like 14
Today.
hours
Good
difference.
morning.
Yeah, it's morning. Mike's having his coffee, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting there having a bourbon. So,
1 o'clock somewhere.
yes, right. So, so wish Mike good luck. Wish the Team USA guys and everybody a good weekend. I believe you can catch that on YouTube. That is live streamed on YouTube. So that is. That's a fun take. So I'd like to have that. I'll have that playing in the background this weekend as I'm
I'm
milling
definitely going to try to watch that.
Yeah, good time. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the news front. I think
Yeah, I don't really have too much else. I mean, the only thing.
no other hot takes.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing this week is
Still haven't heard the Andretti Penske to Formula One.
no.
Not yet. Not yet is the key word. Not yet. Okay. So
Yeah, I mean, NASCAR is going to wrap up their championship this weekend. The the Walter Hayes Formula Ford weekend is going to be this weekend as well. I don't really know of anything else that's going on this weekend.
No,
Or this upcoming weekend.
The Lamborghini Super Trofeo finals this weekend.
The only piece of news that I'm seeing is that the Flying Lizard launches the Sparkle Farts kid car giveaway.
Oh, I saw something on
so
that.
if anyone wants a, where is it? They're giving away a kid's electric car, a 12-volt pink Lamborghini wrapped in the special livery of Stewart's number 14 Lamborghini Super Trofeo car known as Sparkle Farts.
So, so the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Grand Finals are this weekend. Mm-hmm. Again, you can find that on YouTube as well. That's a fun take too.
If anyone was curious about how to enter to win this car, you need a photo of unicorn swag, a poem, picture of fans cheering Sparkle Farts on a drawing, rendering, or whatever the team wants to see it. Entries can be uploaded to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag Sparkle Farts giveaway and tag both Flying Lizard and Slade Stewart.
There you go.
So,
Sean, I think you'd win that one, right?
And you got to get your submissions in.
No, I already used. My drawing skills are not worthy of this, and I've also I probably worn out my welcome with the folks at Flying Lizard because I actually enlisted them to help Christian on a project back in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
So.
If anyone's curious though about
pretty
this,
successful.
Yeah,
it was.
If anyone's curious about when to get this submitted by, you got to do it by Sunday, November 6th at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So
all right.
If you want your car,
get your coloring pencils out and the Super Trofeo finals are at Portimao. So good track.
Yes.
All right. Any more hot takes, Nate? Any more big announcements?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Stay tuned.
Not yet.
Stay tuned.
Is this weekend? Do you have? Aren't you running this coming weekend? Isn't New Jersey 4 hours?
2 weekends. No, 2 weeks. The 12th. No,
the
November
12th. It could friggin' snow down there.
Could.
It's gonna be like 70 this weekend.
I don't know about next week.
The weekend after. I was looking at the weather out, and it looks like it'll be like 50. So it won't.
When Nate runs,
pretty.
Yeah. Or at least up here in Mass.
It's gonna be nippy out.
All right.
Okay.
All right, and then bring the curtain down on NASCAR.
Yep.
Crazy year. To say the least.
I can't wait. I'm gonna shed a tear of joy.
I'm gonna shed one tear.
Oh God!
Trackhouse number one.
What would we do talking about like the off season without NASCAR?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the other 20 topics that we've discussed about.
Yeah.
Trying to do in the off season.
Yeah. Maybe next week we'll bring on some of our NASCAR brethren, insiders. Yeah. NASCAR insiders. Get some hot takes from them on the season.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah. So, all right. So Nate's going to go sharpen his pencil and get ready for the finals. Mm-hmm. Nate, I'm sure that's an all-day event for you as you prep for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's good. Listen, we're time traveling tonight. We're going to North Wilkesboro.
Oh, you guys are at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Is Dale Jr. running with you?
Well, we sent him an invite, but he hasn't responded.
He didn't respond.
Yeah. So I think he was there this morning, but
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wish you Jamokes a fun run tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll wrap this up so you guys can get to your practice sessions.
Yes.
Good deal. Right. Yes. No. Great episode, guys.
All right. And we will talk to everyone next week.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.